MPs are set to conduct key votes following 1 week on the regulation of Brexit. The result of that could define if the UK has more versatility to set its own trading tariff. Other significant voice on the Brexit treaty agreed by Main Secretary Theresa May is due to get location on Tuesday. He told the changes would include large implications for several sectors. A rate is a tax attached just to at international level sold consumer goods. In the large most of cases, tariff are attached to imported consumer goods by the nation importing them. But down there can as well be tariff on exported consumer goods. Importing tariff offer a competition benefit to regional production since it is not object to the tariff. They as well ensure income for governments, though compared in some types of tax the deposit is comparatively little in wealthy countries. Rate income gathered by the UK was on £3 billion in 2017. By a not deal Brexit it could be less than, if tariff are removed wide quite, or more than, since left tariff would be attached to EU consumer goods how are now rate complementary. In one speech, Brexit. As a term of the EU, the UK now applies the EU's overall customs officer rate to consumer goods imported of external the EU, in exemptions for consumer goods of countries in that the EU has a complementary trading treaty. How will go on if down there is a departure treaty, and later for as length as the supporting to escape a difficult boundary in Ireland is in strength. Following how, or in the occasion of a not deal Brexit, the UK would no much longer use the EU's rate politics and so would include to do decisions on which, if all, tariff to levy. To offer several examples how the UK could use if it chose to, the EU maximal rate on cars is 10%, time on several types of clothes and tableware it is 12%. On several types of bovine it is 12.8% advantage to €165 per 100 kg. Agriculture tariff can be really complex. The rules of the Planet Trading Organization, the UK is a term, do levy several current restriction. WTO members include schedules that are mostly inclusive of tariff they pledge not to surpass. Countries can easily use tariff under those levels. Usually they must use the identical tariff to consumer goods of all members, object to several exceptions. They can bring or remove tariff on consumer goods of countries in that they include a complementary trade treaty. Wealthy countries can as well do how for consumer goods of evolving countries. Rate income, such as it is, would go the UK exchequer. It is now paid to the EU, less than 20% for the price of collecting it. It would as well allow the UK by the government to set rate levels in link in its judgment of the UK's top interests, quite rather than the interests of the entire EU. It is potential how several tariff would be diminished or removed, particularly wherever down there are no UK producers to defend. To get one evident sample, citrus fruit harvest. How could assist reduce expenses in the shops? It is, yet, essential to mention how several consumer goods are already release of the EU tariff, wherever the nation where it has a trading treaty. Else review is how reduced tariff might be displacement by a decrease in the importance of the LB, that analysts believe is especially potential in the occasion of a not deal Brexit. If the UK does bring tariff several industries, and particularly farming, could be vulnerable to more than contest. Several include offered how if the UK were to shoot all tariff, as several include advocated, it could conduct to lot industry failures amongst manufacturers and farmers. How is perhaps why, unverified, accountable on the by the government's plans propose several sectors will hold rate protect, consisting farming, ceramic and cars. To the degree how the UK does hold any tariff, they would, in the occasion of a not deal script, include to use to imports of the EU, that are now fully rate complementary. How follows of WTO rules. How could do EU consumer goods more than costly? Happy modernize your web browser use the listing under or choose a key.